Day Dawns ARKS. Welcome everyone to your weekly Phantasy Star Online 2 podcast recorded live on November 22nd, 2020. I am one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me is Xance. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello everyone, we're finally close to all the content.
We are starting to get there, definitely. It's been a long road since earlier this year when things launched here in the West, but it's we are very close to episode 6 at this point. There's no question about that.
I'm excited.
Definitely. We got a pretty full show here today. I'll be honest, once again, I have been completely busy in the Phantasy Star series, basically just focusing on PSO2, including finally hitting Death 100 on the global servers.
Congrats. I still need to do that. Furthest I've gotten so far is 30.
Gotcha. Well,
I've just been busy with other things.
Yeah, I didn't realize this, but you get a pretty cool mask once you get to that death. I never reached this death on the Japanese servers, so I'm actually surprised I managed to make it without using Imperial Cleave or Etoile as the subclass.
Nice. I like the cape accessory that you get at Def 20 or Def 10, I believe.
It is a pretty nice one, yeah, definitely.
It's actually what I currently have on my character. It just looks cool.
Gotcha. Have you been up to anything else, Xance?
Yakuza 7.
Gotcha.
My friend gifted that to me as like an early Christmas gift, and I've already sunk about 20 hours into it.
Nice.
Yep.
Hopefully,
I've been really enjoying it, and especially since I'm a guy who really loves turn-based RPGs.
Is it just you throughout the game, or is it are you joined up with like a party along the way?
It is a party because it is like an RPG, just like Dragon Quest.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, you have party members instead of just it being Ichiban the entire time.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And yes, he does name drop Dragon Quest.
Ooh. Do they even go as far as saying Draque?
I don't believe so. But
Gotcha.
I know that's what most people shorten Dragon Quest to, Draque.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I brought it up, so.
Mm-hmm. I've been playing with the English dub, so I don't know if they do that in the Japanese dub or not. But I will probably replay it in the Japanese dub just to see if they do.
Sounds fun. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and hop into this week's topics here. The first one that we've got here, of course, being there have been a couple of issues over the past week here. The first being with the trigger, and then we've also had an issue with an emote here as well.
So the problem with the trigger is it caused inflation. Oh, joy inflation.
Yep. So there was an issue with the trigger Elder of the Unfathomable Abyss. Basically, players were going into that on normal difficulty and getting about 100,000 Meseta per run. So that's a bit faster than Sega would like to see. The fastest they would typically like to see is running that one particular extreme quest that gives you a decent amount every 3 to 5 minutes usually. And this was just a little bit too quick for that.
Yeah, poor Elder.
Yep.
But yeah, it was causing really rapid inflation to the point of a lot of stuff just being way too expensive because of that.
I know, even like the... Go ahead.
What were you going to say there?
I was going to say, I noticed that like costumes and things like that are like it now, around 450,000 to 500,000 Meseta.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that with the stopping this, it'll slow down the inflation rate and probably bring it hopefully back down.
Hopefully. We'll have to see. I mean, I said this previously on another episode of ours, but I think the days of being able to use Meseta to get Star Gem-based costumes is, for the most part, over at this point here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had a second issue here, that being There was an issue whereby one of the emotes that was being given out for the AC scratch ticket, Blazing Beats, was incorrect. And basically, players were receiving the gymnastics emote instead of the one that they were supposed to be getting. So what's happened here is the Sega, the GM team has basically said the preview video for the AC scratch ticket, Blazing Beats, has been updated with the correct footage, and they're planning to compensate those who received the incorrect emote prior to this correction at a later date. No word on what that. Go ahead.
How does something like that happen?
I don't know. I can only assume human error. Like they just grabbed the wrong emote.
But that seems like something pretty major, just to have something like labeled as you're going to get this item, but it ends up being something else. I'm guessing that might be a programming error, if anything.
It could be, and let's not forget, this isn't the first time that this happened. There was also an issue earlier this year. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it basically...
It was something in the Fresh Find shop, if I remember correctly.
I thought it was one of the packs or something, but it was basically, they said that they were going to give out a certain number of an item, and instead players were receiving less than that item. But I can't quite remember what item that was. Maybe it was Escape Dolls or something. But regardless, this isn't the first time they've had to make a correction like this.
Yeah.
So hopefully whatever happened here, now they're going to learn from their mistakes, since this is the second time this has happened, and they won't have the issue anymore.
But stuff like that will always pop up. Programming errors happen all the time.
It's possible.
Take it from someone who's done some programming before. Never do you get your code to run perfectly the first time.
Yep. Yeah, I get what you're saying in that. And Lord Samuel, we'll be getting to that in just a moment here.
Yeah, we will be talking about that.
Yeah. Actually, I think we can... yeah, we got one thing we need to get through here first, which is actually a new limited time quest called Dark Revelry Consume Starlight. So,
basically the thing you can spam until episode 6 comes out.
Pretty much, yeah. So, fragments of Dark Falls Omega seem to have manifested on some of the previously Fall Spawn occupied areas of planets in the Oracle sector. These remnants will need to be located and destroyed before their Dark Revelry consumes the Starlight, and ARKS HQ has deemed this an excellent opportunity for battle training. On a team with 11 other operatives, you'll want to achieve as high of a quest point score as possible by exploring 3 areas and defeating various enemies. 2 of the areas will be randomly chosen from 4 Dark Falls themed areas, and the final area will find you facing off against all 4 Dark Falls: Elder, Luther, Apprentice, and Gemini. Based on your progress, ARKS HQ will reward you appropriately at the end of the quest, or 30 minutes, whichever comes first. The targets are many, so operatives will be able to pick up this quest at their leisure and complete it as many times as they'd like. Why don't you take the rest of this here, Zance?
Righty. Where'd you end off at here?
Starting with a trigger version, the second paragraph.
I'm still trying to find that here.
Gotcha. Tell you what, I'll keep reading here, and then you can pick up after this line here. A trigger version of the quest will also be available, though this quest will be limited to 4 operatives, and you're likely to encounter all 4 of the Dark Falls in the area where they have a strong connection.
I brought it up here. All right. There will also be incentives that you can compete in various areas, which will earn you even more quest points. Unlike endless quests, your quest duration will not increase after achieving incentives. Your score will be added to the cumulative score, which is shared between all accounts on the same ship. Earning higher scores and exceeding certain thresholds will cause your boost level to rise, increasing the effect of boost on other linked quests and subsequent runs of Dark Revelry Consume Starlight. And yeah, today is PSO2 day. We will be mentioning that as well. If you'd like to check your quest link boost status, you can access the information on the quest counter or through the current events submenu via the quest menus. Each time you run this quest, you may encounter different remnants of Dark Falls, so be prepared for confronting all Dark Falls manifestations. And if I remember correctly, whenever you're facing off with the final 4 falls, it's only 2 at a time. So once you take out one, then the other one will spawn in, right?
That's right. And in general, you want to save your Dark Blasts for that area.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of 14-star weapons that you could possibly get from this.
Yep.
Specifically, look, what is this series called?
Looks like...
Oh, these are the material, or looks like materials needed to create weapons for the 15-star Orphistia or 50-star Trailblazer Xeon weapon series can also be found in this quest. Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yep.
I'm guessing these are probably like the Moonlight series, maybe?
It might be, although none of them really carry that theme here. I mean, there's Mystical Moonlit Katana and the Twin Fire Moon's Twin Machine Gun.
The only reason I'm calling it the Moonlight series is because the weapon potential. So like Moonlight Fireworks, Moonlight Petal Shower, those are 2 of the different potentials.
That works, yeah. That kind of does make sense then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that this quest dropped the Erebos Stone, so you won't be able to get all the materials for the Trailblazer series.
Mm-hmm. But you'll be able to get the weapons, so that'll be good.
Yep. And since all the Dark Falls are in here, you got a wider range of both Reveries and Souls to collect in here as well.
Mm-hmm. If you haven't gotten them on your weapons already, or your units.
The only one you can't get is Persona.
Yep, that will be coming later. When? I don't know.
I think that's coming next week, actually.
Next week?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, but let's go ahead and move into the big topic for today. The road to episode 6.
Yes! We're finally catching up to JP, finally.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming, and it's nice to finally be on our way down here.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of new stuff that's going to be added in this, so...
Yep.
Oh boy, get ready for content overload.
So, you've left the sacred magical kingdom Epicuento in the transcendent hands of a friend, and headed back to Fleet Oracle for some much-needed R&R. The only problem is that your legendary feats in vanquishing one enemy inadvertently permitted the entry of another, and she even had the gall to thank you for it. As your experience on Alternate Dimension Omega taught you, the universe tends to favor recycling things, though chaos often interferes and these recreations can be flawed. Add this to the newfound knowledge that your experience on Omega may not have been historically accurate, and you have the recipe for a grim sense of foreboding. ARKS will again need your help to make sense of the past and preserve the future. There will be new training regiments and new equipment that will better enable Fleet Oracle to meet this challenge head-on when it arrives. Apprise yourselves of the contents of this notice, operatives, and then dispose of it in a secure manner. Well, let's take a look at what we actually do have in Episode 6, which is coming up.
A lot.
Oh yeah. New story!
Now, here's the thing with the story. If you want to do the Episode 6 story, you have to finish Episode 5. It's just like how if you wanted to do Episode 3, you had to do Episode 2 and 1 prior.
Yep. It's definitely a long road, but just get through it. You'll get yourself up to Episode 6, and the rewards that are going to come at the end of it. Lord Samuel, I don't know if there's ever going to be a Shiva versus Dudu.
That would be amazing, though.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely a non-canonical fight. I'll say that much.
We also got player cap increasing to 95.
Yep.
Ooh, boy.
And we've got new classes, Phantom and Etoile. So, question here. I remember back during the original roadmap that they laid out after the initial beta, saying that Episode 6 was going to be split into 2 parts, a Part 1 and a Part 2. And I remember only Phantom being in Part 1.
Yeah, same.
So I'm not certain that Etoile is actually going to be there at the start of Episode 6. This may be more of just a general overview of the episode and not the actual launch content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me try to find that original roadmap here, because that would be interesting to see what they laid out.
Yeah, I think it was like just new. I think it was like 4 or 5 items on there, and Phantom was one of them. Plus the level cap increased to 95. The other thing that's kind of interesting is they also mentioned Herbie and Vulcan, which we'll actually find are the brand new pets upgrades for Synchro and Redren, which only released very recently on the Japanese servers. So that's kind of interesting that they're bringing them out right now. It's also disappointing they did not go with the glass moniker for the Redren upgrade pet, which was the combination of grass and glasses.
Yeah, I found that cute. So yeah, I found what they posted for the roadmap. Yeah, they just had Phantom and level cap 95, new difficulty, ultra hard, and new story content, new urgent quest. That's all they had there.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if there's a coding issue that's preventing them from locking Etoile down. Aside from the new summoner, go ahead.
Well, they still don't have the Luster class, so
that's true. I don't know.
And again, Luster was just recently added on JP.
Yeah, that's true. We've also got new urgent quests coming up, new quest type risk exploration, arms extension, so that will give you access to being able to do crafting on your weapons finally, at least for the new type 13 stars. There's the new quest difficulty, ultra hard, new ARKS missions, new rising weapon badge, so that'll be number 5 now. A new enemy type, the Lumen Mech and Ultra enemies, which is interesting. They didn't keep it ultralized. Oh well. New seasonal events. So we know the Christmas event, of course, is coming up. We'll have to see what comes after that. There's also a new mission pass season, exciting new titles to earn, additional recommended quests, level up quests. We have been waiting for this since episode 4. Why did this not come out until now?
I don't know. Like, we should have had that for a while now, because with getting from level 80, like from level 75 to 90, your only best way of doing that right now is keys.
I know. And
previously it was the level up quest. That was the best way to increase your level and also get some of the yearly badges. Yep. Which, by the way, are we replacing the yearly badges with the rising badges? So we'll finally have a way to farm it.
It could be through this new recommended quest.
That would be nice.
That's how they do it on JP, so that could bring us in parity with us. But I'm also concerned now that a certain event has not happened on the servers, I'm sure some story lore players are going to wonder why certain PSO characters are running around with the ARKS.
Oh, yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah. I'm not going to say more about that. I'm just going to have to leave it vague because I don't want to spoil anything. Let's see. We've also got new collection folders, Legendary 15-star collection folder, and 14-star Egg Collection 1. This is probably when we're going to finally get the SP class collection folder, which takes a really long time to get that together. Let's see, there's also the new bonus quest special mission, Tokyo Rainbow, so we're finally getting the Rainbow bonus keys as well.
Yay! Oh,
do those, you get augment transfer passes from them.
And we're getting that really early too, so that's really good.
That's, once again, that was released later in Episode 6, so no idea if that's actually going to be there at launch. There's also new practice quests, Etoile, Phantom, and AIS Vega. The AIS Vega is the new AIS, and it can fly in space. This is going to become really important once we get to Chapter 3, I can tell you that much right now.
By the way, we're in space.
Yep. Yeah, this episode goes right back to the space theme. Oh, Lord Samuel, you're going to have an issue then. There's content coming.
Use AIS for some quests.
Let's see, we've also got new S-grade augments coming, new 15-star weapons at the Zig Shop, new 13-star units at the Zig Shop, so you'll finally be able to upgrade those. Nice. And 13-star units can have access to S-class augments S6, S7, and S8. So a lot of new stuff coming here. Let's move on to the new story here. So, after your victorious return from the battle in alternate dimension Omega, the universe seems to be righting itself, as the massive black hole seems to have disappeared. The only remaining oddity left to address is the sudden appearance of someone bearing a striking resemblance to a recent acquaintance, who happens to call herself Shiva. I'm surprised they're sticking with Shiva and not saying Siva, which is how it was in the Japanese credits.
We're just sticking to Shiva, honestly.
Yeah, I like it as well. Of course, she's the goddess of annihilation. Outside of the forbidding name, perhaps most alarming is the fact that photon arts and techniques appear to be totally ineffective at warding her and her companions off. Fortunately, her initial overture toward ARKS was brief, though its purpose was to flatly declare war. Bolstered by an armada of her own, Shiva has deployed her forces in a standard formation, directly opposing Fleet Oracle. Though the battle space is limitless, preparation time is not, and the most massive battle in the history of ARKS is about to begin. And then we have the Scion-class Phantom. So, go ahead.
Phantom is really good on using as a subclass, because this is where the Scion classes get really interesting. Hero is not able to be used as a subclass, because if it was, it would be broken. But Phantom and Etoile, and also Luster, are more balanced to where they could also be used as a subclass, but they can't have a subclass themselves.
Yep. It's, we're gonna see some really interesting stuff. Phantom is really good at photon point management, so that's why a lot of players use it. But Phantom is to some also known as the Force replacement.
Yeah, but you can also do Force Phantom.
True.
Yeah, balance. That balance is in quotes there. It's more balanced in a ways.
Yeah. So, a Scion class, the Phantom adeptly uses rods, katanas, and assault rifles in a manner unique to their class, but their advantage won't end there, for they can quickly modify their rod or katana standard photon arts on the fly with the use of a weapon action, thus executing a shift photon art, and increasing the variety of attacks they can perform. Even their techniques, when executed with a rod in hand, provide an additional technique attack. In the hands of a Phantom, the Phantom Assault Rifle is used to create Phantom Bits, allowing the Phantom to continue with their attack and photon arts while deployed bits seek and detonate upon the target. Perhaps most impressive, subsequent attacks against enemies will apply a Phantom Marker, which detonates when struck with a charged weapon action. Finally, Phantom can learn the skill Phantom Time, which extends the duration of their invulnerability when sidestepping and reduces their photon point consumption by 20% for a short time. Using Phantom Time Finish, once the duration of Phantom Time is nearly expired, will unleash a massive attack upon the Phantom's enemies. As with all Scion classes, you need to have level 2 classes to level 75 before you're able to complete Officer Coffee's class permit trial, unlocking the Phantom class. Phantoms are also unable to select a subclass, however other classes can select Phantom as their subclass. So, notable photon arts of the Phantom include, and I love this, they actually kept the German names for these.
Yep.
Which,
Yeah,
if
all
you
German names.
If you remember, way back in the day, even before we started Dawns ARKS, when the first announcement about this I said, don't mess with the Phantom. And I was referring specifically to the names that they had here. So I am glad that that the team listened on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, Wolf Kunzuk, Rod Photon Art for Phantoms, unleash a string of attacks and then let loose a shockwave, performing a weapon action, change the Photon Art. Then we got Wolkenkratzer, Katana Photon...
Like more like a Wolkenkratzer.
You're right.
Wolkenkratzer.
Execute a drop attack accompanied by a shockwave, performing a weapon action, changes the Photon Art. And how would you say you would pronounce that one there?
I believe, shit. I'm trying to remember how. I remember how to more better pronounce German words.
Gotcha.
Verbrechen.
Okay.
It would be Verbrechen.
Alright. So, Assault Rifle Photon Art for Phantoms. Launch a line of attack satellites as you move, performing a weapon action, changes the Photon Art.
And fun fact, that word, that German word, translates into crime.
Which is basically what happens in that.
Mm-hmm.
At least I think that's for the Shift Photon Art version of it. Aside from that, we also have a second Scion class, Étoile.
Which
notable
is French for star.
Indeed. And episode 6, its subtitle is Stars, referring to the soul. Notable in the fields of defense and support skills, Étoiles shine quite brightly when in the thick of battle. Capable of wielding the double saber, which allows for increased aerial mobility, soaring blades, which grant them the ability to defend while still attacking, and wands, which provide free movement while allowing the Étoile to continue with their attacks. Do note, Étoiles cannot use techniques unless it's built into an all-class weapon.
Mm-hmm.
In the hands of an Étoile, the double saber grants the operative high mobility, special aerial abilities, and the ability to accumulate focus through the focus gauge, which is spent automatically to help mitigate incoming damage. Naturally, this focus can also be spent on an enhanced attack, so it's up to the Étoile to determine the best use of their focus at a given time. The weapon attack of the Étoile double saber is called Deflect, and using it will activate a perfect guard. Deflect can also be used to unleash a powerful counterattack. Perhaps most notable is the Étoile's ability to use double saber skip arts, which allow them to tailor their attacks to specific parts of the Photon Arts. And Lord Samuel...
don't use techniques. Yeah, the Étoile wand does not use a technique. It uses its own kind of Photon Arts.
Exactly. Yeah, so the technique needs to be built into the wand. So I know that there's like a wand that has access to Resta, but as we'll see shortly here, that is not going to do anything for the Étoile.
No. They don't need it.
Yep. And can't even use it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But moving on here, soaring blades allow an Étoile to parry by using their weapon action. This allows them to block attacks from every direction, even when the Étoile is in the middle of a Photon Art. Étoile soaring blades also allow the use of the focus gauge, which can be spent on a powerful connect attack upon reaching a certain level. Building the focus gauge even more will unleash a full connect attack. Perhaps the most favored weapon, the Étoile wand, provides the operative with high mobility and attacks that chain together naturally. Using the weapon action at the right time during the use of a Photon Art will release a focus Photon Art, which may be smaller in scope, but far more powerful. Used on its own, the weapon action will activate Charge Protect, providing the Étoile with defense while moving. By expanding the Étoile focus gauge, this defensive stance can be maintained longer. Once the focus gauge has been depleted to a certain level, a powerful attack known as a Protect Release will occur and devastate the area surrounding the Étoile. Naturally, as with the other Scion classes, this class is restricted to senior operatives who have reached level 75 with 2 different classes. Also, like Phantom, Etoile can be chosen as a subclass. Now, I'm curious why they don't...
pretty much a melee-focused class except for the one, which then the one is just you blast beams out.
Yeah, it's a very mobile, very party-centric class, but can also do pretty well on its own as well.
And is a pretty hefty tank.
That's true. Let's get into Damage Balancer here real quick, because I don't see it listed here. So Damage Balancer is sort of the main thing about this class, and it effectively reduces all damage that comes in down to, I think it reduces it by 70%, or was it 75%? I'm trying to remember now.
I don't remember. But yeah, it reduces damage by a lot.
Yep.
And yeah, it is a tank unlike Hero, which Hero is a glass cannon.
Exactly. Yeah, so basically you put all your points into Damage Balancer. That helps you to unlock all the attack power that can come from Etoile, but the trade-off to it is anything that you use to heal yourself, whether it be Party Resta or other techniques, Megaverse, things like that, even augments built into the weapon that restore your HP, none of that works. The only thing that will restore your health is the Etoile time and using mates and star atomizers. That's it.
Yep. You will not be able to get healing from anyone.
Exactly.
Not even yourself.
It'll heal you for 1 HP if you try to do it.
Yep. Pretty funny.
Yep. So yeah, basic consumables is what you can use essentially.
And that's it.
Yep. Notable photon arts of this Scion include Light Wave. Soaring Blade's photon art unleashes a barrage of blows that emit shock waves and launches a photon blade that pierces the enemy. Black Hole Rapture. Wand Etoile photon art sucks up targets into an explosion. Attack changes depending on weapon actions. And Celestial Collide, Double Saber photon art, release a giant photon blade into the enemy with a heal drop.
And I really haven't tried Etoile that much, but I do know, like you said, that whenever Etoile comes out, you're going to be doing Hunter Etoile, right?
It is my main from the Japanese server, and it is just the most unkillable thing in the game, essentially.
Yeah, because not only do you have all the defensive buffs from Etoile, but you also have Iron Will and Automate.
Yep. It is a deadly combo. It makes most soloable content easy to do at this point.
So yeah, Hunter Tank is actually meta.
Yeah. So aside from that, we also have some new summoner pets here, Irby and Vulcan. So, Irby, an evolved form of Redrin, though the same rarity. Irby has increased Dex plus 93 at level 130. Irby has a new personality type, that of Genius. When facing a boss-type enemy, this personality will provide increased photon point recovery, faster performance of photon arts, and increased normal attack damage. Though
Not
evolved
only
from...
that, it looks adorable.
That she is. You can definitely tell. Though evolved from Redran, Irby's photon arts are slightly different in that laser affects fewer targets. The potency and range of mine are increased in exchange for a higher photon point cost. Slash yields higher damage at the cost of more photon points. Gravity requires less photon points. And Burst charges faster and requires less photon points but also deals less damage. And then we have Vulcan.
Why
don't you go ahead and take this one?
Synchro. Its nature allows for higher damage with chained photon arts. It has an altered personality, however, and is considered aggressive. This personality reduces its critical hit rate in exchange for greatly increased damage. It also has slightly higher dex, defense, and HP than its lesser form. Kick's damage is greatly increased at the cost of more PP. Fist deals increased damage, and Bomb and Strike do more damage compared to the Synchro counterparts.
Yeah, so basically, if you wanted a Dark Falls as your pet, here you go.
Yep. It's increased damage on the cost of crits.
Yep. And then we have several other new things here. New recommended quests, level up quests. There's a new entry in the recommended quests at the quest counter, level up quests. These will also reward a special present at the end of the quest, making it 4 per day, in addition to providing an additional 200% EXP when running this quest.
And the best one is World Engulfed in Shadows.
Oh yeah, that's basically, if you're familiar with Towards the Future from the original Phantasy Star Online, here's your Towards for Future, or Towards the Future.
Yeah, it's Towards the Future. Basically, it's a boss rush.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about boss rushes, they give a lot of experience points.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still remember on Affinia, one of the first few things that I did was just spam TTF multiple times in order to get myself up to ultimate level, which is level 80.
It's the most efficient way. There's no reason not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got a new collection file here. Collection folder, rather. So, interestingly here, and I think this kind of confirms that this is the SP collection folder here, we're seeing weapons here that only released very recently on the Japanese server. Mm-hmm. So the Crozius brand, 15-star sword, the Millionaire Umi, Crozius cannon. This is quite literally a cannon that a ranger would use.
Now, the big thing with these is that they're weapons that you could use as your main weapons, but you really don't. These are weapons that you get in order to enhance other weapons.
Yep. And we are finally getting access to the 14-star egg collection here.
Nice.
So, if you've been looking for a Rappy egg, here you go. You've also got color variants of each of the pets, as well as access to the Herbie egg and the Vulcan egg. All of them at 14 stars, so summoners, there you go. This is going to carry you to the end of the game. And then we have the new enemy types, Lumen Mech and Ultra Hard. So, naturally, Shiva has new baddies for operatives to play with. So Lumen Mechs. Lumen Mechs are enemies created and dispatched by Shiva, Goddess of Annihilation. Lumen Mechs have high attack power, use heavy armor, and have unique skills that make them a very dangerous foe. And Ultra Enemies. Those are native inhabitants and fall spawn of each planet that have undergone an additional corruption-induced transformation. These enemies will be encountered in ultra-hard difficulty quests. After dispatching some ultra enemies, operatives have reported that each has dropped a special 15-star weapon similar to those dropped in Risk Exploration quests.
Which Risk Exploration quest?
Yep.
Expeditions may have become less challenging as you become more powerful, but that doesn't mean that there aren't enemies out there that will truly test your mettle. Risk explorations are the next frontier that ARKS HQ would like you to explore. But be forewarned, because these quests are only available for those who aren't afraid to take on extra hard quests. It takes some time, 3 days, for ARKS HQ to plan out which set of areas should be explored, and when, so these will not be all be simultaneously be available, as normal expedition quests are. You can also expect to be more challenged by the random occurrence of emergency trials as well, as they'll have more difficult goals under different conditions than those that have occurred before.
Yeah, so basically what this is saying is there's going to be a 3-day rotation for these quests, which, if everything is available at launch, it would be 4 quests per day that you can choose, and then those will rotate out for the next 2 days and then come back after that. So we've also got several more rewards here as well. We've got, it's just 15-star weapons here. Here's the Genon Zephrida. as well as the Genin de Salsa.
Very Dark Falls theme there.
Yep.
Or just more so corruption.
It-
Oh, by the way, the Dying Ombros. It looks like a sword, doesn't it? No, it's twin machine guns.
Yeah.
I actually have that on the JP server, and it's hilarious. It goes on your back like a sword, but whenever you then use it, you just pull out twin machine. It just separates into twin machine guns.
Yeah, it's a funny weapon, that's for certain.
Mm-hmm.
Also got some weapon camos in here, including the trunk hut. I think that turns into a twin machine gun when fired. And then featured rewards. Let's see. You've also got the Yasminkov 5000S assault rifle. The Anakates Cyan.
The Riberate is almost certain a troll translation. I guess it could, due to how R's and L's are when translating from Japanese.
Yep.
Well, yeah, Japan doesn't have any L's, so anything that, like in English words that have L's, they are pronunciated as R's. So, like the name Lily would be Riri.
Yep, and we actually get to that right here, the Revelate weapon series, which, yeah, it's a strange translation. That's for certain. It more people would probably accept it as liberate than Revelate. But in order to put these together, you need one of the 14-star Noville series weapon at plus 35. You need a key Revelate, 10 Diard, 500 Plam, 500 X cubes, 50 ultimate boosters, and
then the hardest one,
200 class X cubes. So if you've been doing your Omega Masquerader, you should have plenty of those available to be able to put into this weapon.
Yeah, but you're still gonna need a lot.
Yep. And yes, Rag Zero Ultimate Boosters, they come at an exchange rate of 90 Photon boosters to 1 Ultimate Booster.
Mm-hmm.
So start counting and get back into those AQs if you haven't got enough.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done Advanced Quest.
Yep.
How many ultimate boosters do I even have? I don't even know. It's been so long.
Yep. Diard materials are obtainable by dismantling 15-star weapons. That's a big oof. We just got 15-star weapons, and now they're telling us to dismantle them.
Oh. Also, ultimate boosters aren't available yet. You need to... I guess you need to trade them in from photon boosters or something?
Yeah, so that'll likely release at the start of episode 6.
Okay. Well, I have 276 photon boosters, so I will hopefully be ready.
276 photon boosters.
Yeah.
Let's do the math here real quick here. If we need 50 of those ultimate boosters, and you need 90 you need 90 photon boosters to get a single ultimate boosters, you're gonna need 4,500
Are you
photon.
really?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. Well, I hope someone wants to spam Advanced Quest with me.
But there are also going to be events coming up that will also help provide some ultimate boosters as well. So it's not a completely bad situation, and there will also be some challenges coming up, some titles that will reward you with certain units as well that will also help to take a little bit of that load off as well here.
All right.
And yes, we'll be getting to that shortly. Here is Rag Zero. But yeah, here's some of the weapons that are available with the Riverlate key once you unlock everything.
His life.
Here's one of the new 13-star units as well. I never noticed this before, but this thing apparently has like a little face on it or something.
Yeah, it does. It's angry.
Yeah. And as for the weapon potential, Liberated Fang. Yeah, here's the other thing. This says Liberated.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they got Riverlate, and then they have Liberated for the weapon potential. So what's going on here? What's with the translation?
I don't know.
But at level 3, it increases critical rate by 20% and increases potency by 16%. Photon point consumption reduced by 15%. This is pretty much your general go-to weapon until the Crest series comes out later in Episode 6. And aside from that, we also have weapon extension and 13-star weapon creation. So, that weapon seemed perfect when you first got it, but now compared to some of the new items you've picked up lately, it's not so hot. Good news is that weapon extension is now available in your personal quarters via the crafting terminal. Extending your up to 12-star weapon can overwrite the standard stats with those of a selected recipe once you've raised the weapon's extension level enough, with the maximum level being 12. The enhancement level, augments, and weapon potentials will not be affected. To extend your weapon, you need some materials, most of which can be obtained by dismantling 7-star or higher equipment at the crafting terminal. As you extend more items, you'll attain crafting achievements, which will unlock additional, more powerful recipes. If you're looking for an entirely new upgrade and the rare drop rate has not favored you, you can now craft 13-star weapons at the crafting terminal. These weapons can be extended up to extension level 8.
So, you can craft a 13-star?
That's what it's implying, but really, I think it's the same thing as extending a regular weapon. I don't remember seeing anything like that on the Japanese server.
You have this option. We're also getting Rising Weapon Badge 5!
Indeed, and this is where you get your Novo weapons from.
Mm-hmm. And units.
Yep. You can also pick up some of the older weapons here, the Demonia Saber, as well as the Eternal Psycho Rod, if you want to do that. And by using Key Rivelate found in Mission Pass 11, or received as a title reward for achieving the title of Glass Guardian, you can upgrade Novel Series weapons to Rivelate Series weapons. So that title, I think, is going to be at 800 titles total.
Oh, jeez.
I'm ready to go on that one, so it's...
Yeah, you are. I really need to work on my titles.
There's also some featured suites, apparently, that you can get from the Rising Weapon Badge 5s, including pretty much all the parfaits that you would actually need, it looks like. Which is something that's been sort of missing from the game, if I remember correctly. Or was it the rolls? I can't remember now.
I think it's been the parfaits.
And Lord Samuel, no, I'm not going for every single title. There are a lot that I'm completely skipping out on.
But don't you want to be a completionist?
No, I'm not looking to go that far, especially considering most online RPGs just keep going and keep going. It's impossible to complete them.
True.
Looks like you can also buy some S-grade augments here. Goliath Slayer Will increases damage dealt to bosses by 4%. Lustrous, both of these are S1. Lustrous Part Breaker, when attacking destructible parts, photon point recovery when attacking increases 40%. Add S1 Skill Adept, critical rate increases 15%. Add S1 Comrade's Blessing. When 2 or more members are in the party, photon point consumption is reduced, and critical rate increases according to the number of members. And then we have some S2 abilities here as well. Luminous Adaption increases photon point recovery by 100% if the weapon is holstered, but decreases it by 100% if the weapon is drawn. One with the Flame. Actually, it looks like the rest of these are just element-based here. So Fire Burn resistance increases, Ice Freeze resistance increases, Lightning Shock, Wind Blind, Light Panic, and Dark Poison resistance. All these also increase potency when an enemy is weak to that particular element as well. And we've also got some additional adjustments here as well, including some balance adjustments to Hero.
Oh?
So we got the Heroic Boost. The maximum and minimum values for power gain from this skill have been raised. The Hero Counter. During Hero Counter, Heroic Boost has had its maximum power value increased. And Precision Attack critical rate has been increased.
Oh, so it's buffs.
Yep.
Hero absolutely needs buffs. It totally does.
Yep. And then, quest triggers added to Rising Weapon Badge for Exchange Shop. So, quest triggers up to Episode 5 have been added in. Examples are Hostility Trigger, Unceasing Madness Trigger, Crimson Fellworm Trigger, etc. And it's that etc. that has me thinking we might finally see the Earth Destroyer's Light Trigger in there.
Probably. Because we do have the light for the Profound Darkness.
Yep. And this trigger is the last thing that's needed to open up expert player matching.
Mm-hmm. Please do that.
Yeah, it's time to bring it out, guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the Unique Weapon Badge Exchange Shop has some new items here. The 14-star Ares series weapons are now available. I thought they were already available in there. 15-star weapons that come from Ultra enemies are now available. And 13-star and below weapons are offered at half their original cost.
Oh. Interesting.
So that's going to reduce all of those from 400 badges to 200 badges then. We've also got a new ARKS mission time attack quest. Reward 3 7-star units with several augments. Very useful for new or returning players, so this is all going to be the Hiei series. And there's a new function available via the Scratch Ticket prize list where you can check item market prices for those prices.
Finally bringing that in. Because that is the thing on JP as well.
Yeah. And the last thing, account character creation limit has increased to 30.
Yay!
That's getting crazy. At that point, the only reason you would have that many is basically as item pack mules.
Pretty much. It's like trying to do dailies or weeklies on 30 characters is insane.
Yeah. It really is not worth it at that point to do that.
I would say only the people who pretty much play this and only this game all day. Yeah, go for that, I guess.
Yep. So that's the big chunk of everything, but we do also have some other things happening with the launch of Episode 6 once that comes out. Or rather, with the road to Episode 6. So, we have some login rewards going on here. From November 25th to December 8th, they'll be handing out up to 14 Tokyo bonus key golds and up to 140 Rising Weapon badges. And also,
I would say hold on to those golds to either level up Etoile or Phantom.
Yep. Or even your main class, since we're getting level 95 as well.
Yeah, that is another thing. Just hold on to it unless you need to get to 90.
Yep. Also, if operatives report for duty enough, they'll receive 2 13-star Val Owl's gun blades with S-grade augments. There's also going to be a second part to the login campaign between December 9th and the 22nd, where operatives are provided with up to 280 star gems. So, just once again reiterate here, from November 25th to December 8th, that's when you get the Tokyo Gold keys and the Rising Weapon badges, as well as the 2 Val Owl's gun blades here. Now these are
have the upgrade augment of what's it? Vampiric Strike?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now this is interesting. They are only enhancement level 0 here, which is different from the Japanese server, where they were enhancement level 32, I think. And that was... Or maybe they're just not listing it here, but they're supposed to have a level cap, or enhancement cap of 32 on them, I think.
Oh, okay.
And that way you just smash the two...
an enhancement cap of 35. I don't know.
Well, it was you smash the two of them together, and that then gave you your 35.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
And then second login bonus here. Once again, 20 Star Gem tickets, 1 per day, between December 9th and December 22nd. And they're also giving out 2 Tri-Boost plus 150% if you log in at least 3 of those days. That is a pretty good login campaign that's going on, and if you've been keeping up with the other campaigns that have been ongoing recently here on Global, you should also have a number of other gold keys that should last at least somewhat a somewhat long time here.
Yeah, and yeah, they are also going to be giving out a 15-star outright.
Yep. And then we have the Road to Episode 6 Enhancement Extravaganza. So, enhance a weapon at least 5 times between December 2nd and December 8th. You're going to get yourself 5 half scape dolls, and the Rodeo emote. Or no, furnishing, I'm sorry.
Furnishing, yeah.
Which is basically a mechanical bull.
Yep.
Enhance the unit at least 5 times between the same date range. You get 5 of the rare drop rate plus 250%, and the 269 impromptu tea party, which I think was given out previously to players.
Yeah, we've already had that before.
Although this might be the first time that PC players can get it.
I believe so. Yeah, because this was a thing with the Xbox.
Yep. And then affix at least 5 items between the same date range. You'll get 5 Tri-Boost plus 100%, and the evolution device Purple Puyo.
Yay, another Puyo.
And then we have the big one here, the Zero Meseta Cost Enhancement and Boost. So, the Japanese server had this not too long ago, and it was to help players finally upgrade all their old-type weapons without it costing them a fortune. And now we have it on the global server as well here. So, during this, item enhancement, affixed augments, transfer S-grade augments, switch weapon potential, and compressed suites, all of those are going to cost nothing!
Yep. It is the best time to enhance if you haven't yet.
Yep. Get your weapons up to 8 slots.
Make a bunch of enhancements of plus 35 to then sell on shops.
Yep. Or get some weapons prepared for doing augment transfer passes with. Get them up to 8 slots, and there you go. Your weapon is ready to go now.
So
they're
this
also
starts on the 25th. So, what I do is I have a bunch of the 13-star weapons, specifically the Revulsio weapons. Those sell for about 1.5, 2 mil, depending on the day, being grinded up to plus 30. Those are the weapons you want to grind up.
Yep. This campaign lasts.
Oh, jeez.
This campaign is going to last from November 25th until December 8th, which, once again, kind of leans back towards maybe the 9th being the launch of Episode 6, rather than it being the, the 23rd, I think. During this campaign, there's also enhancement boosts going on. So enhancement aid plus 10%, augmentation aid plus 10%, enhancement experience plus 15%, and great enhancement aid plus 25%. So there is quite a lot happening, and this is really the time when you're going to essentially clean out your banks to make room for all the new stuff you're going to be getting in Episode 6.
Because Lord knows that I need to clean out my bank.
Yep. Same here.
Let's
Although
see.
most of my... Go ahead.
200, character storage 300, premium storage 400, extended storage 500.
For me, it's worse because
I want everything.
For me, I've got all my characters filled up with items, so it's like take 300 character storage times 12 there. Granted, a lot of that is costumes and such that I've accumulated throughout the life of the game, and we still don't know what's going to happen with Meseta in New Genesis because we found the Meseta name being used in New Genesis during that playthrough session, but they said Meseta is not supposed to carry over, or at least not with when it comes to the player shops over in New Genesis. So it's a big question.
Yeah, I'm still confused on all that.
So along with that, on the road to episode 6, we also have quest link boosts. And I think we covered part of this earlier here. So between 11/25 and December 22nd, if you complete the Dark Revelry Consume Starlight or the Trigger Dark Revelry Consume Starlight, you're awarded a boost. And the missions that become boosted by completing the above missions are the Malevolent Void, the Trigger Malevolent Void, the Trigger Call of the Void, the mission Dark Revelry Consume Starlight, and the Trigger Dark Revelry Consume Starlight. And the boosts are experience earned and rare drop rates up to an extra 200%.
And that's going to start on the 25th. One of the best Urgent Quest fights. I love the Persona fight.
Yep. It is a huge fun fight. As just a quick hint, when he brings down his energy ball, go ahead and attack that thing.
Yeah. Just wail on the energy ball.
Yep. And there's a Welcome Back ARKS campaign going on as well. If players have not logged in since October 28th, they are going to be getting 5 Halfscape dolls, 5 casino coin passes, 5 Tri-Boost plus 100%, 5 Rare Drop Rate plus 250%, 3 Salon Free Passes, 1 Star Gem 40 ticket, a Tokyo Bonus Key Gold, and a Magatsu Bonus Key Gold. And that is available between November 25th and December 22nd. And there's also a campaign to get more Rising Weapon Badge 4. Why don't you take this one, Xance?
There's a lot going on, operatives, but while you take part in all the grant campaigns for the Road to Episode 6 event, keep this campaign in mind as it can be simultaneously completed. For every 3 Urgent Quest operatives complete, they'll receive 30 Rising Weapon Badge 4, up to a maximum of 300. While any Urgent Quest will count, it'll be especially rewarding if you run the Malevolent Void after getting your quest link boost from running the limited time quest Dark Revelry Consume Starlight. Then you'll have those Rising Weapon Badge 4 and a chance for better items. Rising Weapon Badge 4 can be exchanged with Badge and Memory Exchanger Nanan in the shopping plaza for 15-star weapon materials, quest triggers for access to quests with amazing drops, and EXP Weapon Mini to enhance your equipment so you're prepared for the future trials. So, yeah, getting an additional 300 Rising Weapon Badge 4 through this. So that's pretty good. Alright, I'll have to take a look on that.
Yep, so to get the whole bonus here, you would need to run 30 of the urgent quests. And then we also have the Road to Episode 6 PSO2 Global Social Media Salute. So basically, they're asking players to start tweeting out with the hashtag PSO2 giveaway. And if we reach 1,000 tweets like that, there's going to be a Tokyo Bonus Key Gold given out. At 2,500, there's going to be a 1 million experience ticket given out. 5,000, you'll get the Grim Assassin Weapon Camo, which we can see here. That one being Phantom themed. And then at 7,500, there's going to be a 100 Star Gem ticket. And then at 10,000, the L Starlight, which is this one, which... Okay, that might actually lean things more in the direction of a 12 being at launch.
Yeah, definitely. It did say Phantom and Etoile, so...
Yep. And the participation of this is between November 25th and the beginning of maintenance on 12/8. And then there's going to be prizes for participating in this as well. By participating in tweeting, posting, and liking Frenzy, and you could be one of 30 lucky winners to receive 6 10,000 AC tickets.
60,000 AC.
Yeah, that's big.
Okay.
So winners will be contacted via Twitter or Facebook's messaging feature. Users with closed DMs will not be eligible to win. Upon being notified, the winners will have 1 week to reply to the message with the following information: the player ID, the character name, and the character ship number. And the winnings are automatically void if the winner does not reply within 1 week. And they'll reveal the winners of the giveaway on the official Twitter and Facebook accounts. By participating in this giveaway, you are also agreeing to let them share your Twitter handle or Facebook account name in case you are one of the winners. So yeah, it's a big one that they're doing here.
So you just need to tweet, post, and like with that hashtag PSO2 giveaway. And then you could possibly be one to get the 60,000 AC tickets. Jesus.
It's... Well, 600 AC tickets.
No, it's 60,000 AC tickets. But like,
okay, in total, 60,000
yeah,
AC.
A total of 60,000 AC, which is insane.
Right, you were saying it tickets, so I was it was like
6 10,000 tickets.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from...
I did see that picture. That is a lot.
Yeah. They're also doing a 15-star weapon and 12-star unit distribution here. For 15-star weapons, beginning November 25th and going until the end of December 22nd, and upon meeting the requirements, you can pick it up from the Visiphone. If you clear any of the recommended quests, then you're going to receive the Atlas Alez X Gunblade, which has an enhancement level of plus 35, light element of 60, mastery augment level 4, vinculum augment, the stamina 3 augment, the spirit 3 augment, deafness 3 augment, and the S3 luminous grace 2. And you also get 999 of all the materials that you would need to convert it into any class's weapon that you might want to use.
Yep. So yeah, you're just given a 15-star outright.
Yep. Combine that with the 2 other weapons that they're giving out, you could technically get yourself 2 Atlas X weapons here if you have the extra Chronos Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're also giving out 12-star units for all. By clearing the Dark Revelry, consume Starlight between November 25th and December 22nd. If you clear the quest 3 times, you're going to get the Arms Off Zen unit. Completed 6 times, you're going to get the Back Off Sirius unit. And completed 9 times, you're going to get the Legs Off Zetshogi, which basically gives you a full 12-star set. And it is a set that can be upgraded in Episode 6 eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Upgraded to 13 stars.
Yep. So yeah, you're given 4 items completely. And yeah, you could have, in total, 4 Atlas EXs, unless you're extremely lucky with getting a one of those drops from the Urgent Quest.
Right.
Because you get one from just grinding an Atlas to 35, getting one from completing the story, and another one for getting a certain amount of titles.
Yep.
And then with this one, you're pretty much giving one for free. So yeah, unless you got a stone because you're extremely lucky, you can have 4 Atlas EX weapons.
Sounds like good weapons to desynthesize, so you can get your Revelry weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got one more thing here today. Today is, of course, PSO2 Premium Day. So for all the premium users out there in PSO2, you're getting several bonuses here. You get a Star Gem, or 2 Star Gem 22 tickets, a Tokyo bonus key gold, as well as active boosts through the rest of the day, fun plus 100%, EXP earn plus 100%, login stamp plus 1 bonus, rare item drop rate plus 100%, and the Gathering Fever occurrence rate plus 100%. This lasts until 7 a.m. on the 23rd, New York time. And of course, the Rappy Suit Mini is available to collect from Rappies if you get lucky enough.
Which I've never been.
Same here. Alright, so with all that, we also have upcoming next week on November 24th at 2 p.m. Pacific time is going to be the next ARKS Hour. This is episode 3, and they are hosting Anamana as a special guest on this one. So,
if any of you haven't watched the ARKS Hour, it's basically their own podcast kind of thing.
Yep.
So it's more official than what ours is.
Definitely. But they'll probably be talking about episode 6 in this one. They might be giving out some information, but at the very end, they typically also give out an item code that you can put into the Visiphone. So do make sure you tune in so you can take advantage of that. And aside from that, there is also the next PSO2 Station Plus on the Japanese side. That is also happening on the same day, November 24th, that being at 20:30 Japanese Standard Time or 3:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep. Yeah, that is way too early for me to wake up and watch that.
Yep. And we can kind of take a guess at what they might be doing on that one, because they actually did announce some stuff previously. They announced a Sword Art Online collab. They announced a new challenge quest, the Christmas event for this year, plus Winter Part 2, the Phantasy Star Online 20th Anniversary event, some new limited quests, the Screenshot Shooting Studio, and the Arc Ship Fire Swirl Refinement. So, they'll probably be covering those topics as well as... Well, we'll have to see how long the thing is. There might be word of something New Genesis related, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we haven't heard much since the follow-up video.
Yeah, not since TGS have we heard anything.
Mm-hmm. Which I will
yeah.
still make fun of the fact that they pointed out movable fingers.
Yeah. That's gonna be the meme for the time being. that plus our new Ash's face.
Yes, I love it.
All right, so that does it for PSO2 this week. We've got one other small update here from the Clementine server here, where there were some additional things fixed here on the server. Zance, do you want to take this?
Sure thing. So, the drop rate for the Karaguin Blade has been increased, which we don't know the full drop rates of any of these items. The Polavara is no longer immune to debuffs. A change to Nanoblast. The Vonde Vol damage and accuracy modifiers have been slightly increased. The Boga Vol damage, defense, and accuracy modifiers have been slightly increased, and the Z Vol damage and evasion modifiers have been slightly increased. Also, interesting thing, since humans and Newmans have SUVs in this, it makes Nanoblast the most unique thing. Now,
That it does.
and correction to items. The Steck 1 has its model corrected. Twin Beefedge R should now be spelled correctly. Photon Claw, Fluorescent Bulb Weapons, the Setsuko Skillet, Melton Skillet Set, Frying Pan, Mocha Skillet Set, and Ankh Pico should now have sound effects. Clear Saber has had its model corrected. Fixed Ridol Semba having the incorrect success chance range during synthesis. Non-casino jukebox disc can now be should now be sellable to NPC shops. Consumable items, common consumable boxes in A-rank missions to now drop Trimates instead of Antimates. Thank you. I always wondered why Trimates just were not dropping at all in the fields. Mira Kikami has replaced Myrod in Phantom Fisher boxes. Bar counter is now available at Casino Voil prize counter. The Berry Red remodeling ticket is now available at the variety shop. Amber Yellow now costs 7,000 Meseta instead of 1,000 to keep in line with the other 7-star remodeling tickets. The variety shop has had multiple missing decorations added. And some changes to Photon Arts is the Chiki Kyoren Jin and Choto Kansu Jin have had their PP cost values corrected in-game. Blender Crush ATP modifier on the first combo has been corrected, and the Razin Seiden Ga hitbox size has been increased. And then there's some fixes to the system. Units not sold in the NPC shops should now have the correct in-game sell price that is stated on their individual pages. Fixed an issue with metal boxes having a rate overflow causing some items to be rarer than intended. A few metal boxes in all player mission ranks have been adjusted to have higher tier materials. An issue where the player record flag was leaking into other flags and increasing the count have been looked into and fixed. As a result, all player records have been reset to 0. Yeah, I noticed that, where I would just look into my player records and for some reason I had like 10 kills of a boss I never killed.
Yep. So if you were working towards running a lot, unfortunately this has reset your status on that.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not that hard to quickly get them back up.
Yep. But yeah, it's so Clementine is still under development here, of course. It's a really good fan effort that they have. So we do want to promote them whenever they do have a little bit of an update here, especially since they're the only option around. Of course, you also have Phantasy Star Online Blueberry servers around, but there are just so many of them that it's hard to keep track of all of them and the updates that they might be doing on there. So that's why we're calling out Clementine, but not the Bluebird servers out there.
Yeah, because Clementine's unique. It's the only Phantasy Star Universe server.
Exactly. All right. Well, that pretty much brings us to everything that we had prepared, unless you had anything else here, Zance.
No, I think I'm good. I don't have anything else.
Definitely looking forward to episode 6 finally hitting the global servers. This is going to be really fun, seeing how players are going to react to what happens early on in the story with that one.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for that. Oh, you got 2 more 35 weapons. Oh, jeez. You're insane. I don't have that kind of Meseta.
I'm curious what you're planning to do with all those 35 weapons when now we've also got the way to get experience weapons from the shops.
I don't know.
Oh, I see. You're using those to actually get them leveled up. Okay. Well, hopefully you're able to find a good use for those weapons here. Yeah, episode 6 is a big one. This is almost immediately after launch. I'm expecting we're going to see the first of the urgent quests, which is going to basically take us against the Shiva fleet, or the Fleet of Demise, as it's sometimes called. You're also going to be hearing a lot of lyrics in the music now, compared to previously,
Yes.
which is they got some bangers in there. I'll say that much.
Also, if you want to get your weapons now for Phantom or A12, get them now. Because once they're released, those weapons are going to be really expensive in the shops.
Yeah, maybe use those free Atlas weapons that you're getting.
Yeah, use them now. For Phantom, it depends on your playstyle. If you want to mostly just focus on using techniques, then get the 15-star rod.
Yep.
For a Twal, I don't know. Which one would be the best one for a Twal? Wand or Soaring Blades?
Well, for myself, I actually go with Double Saber, and the reason for that is it has it 12 has a photon art that is essentially blade destruction from Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity.
Ew. I love blade destruction. It was my favorite PA.
Yeah, so they reproduced it on a 12, so
Nice. Get those ones and sell it later. Yeah, baby.
Yep.
So yeah, get the weapons now and then sell them to people. Or all the setup weapons. So basically, someone wants to make an atlas of a weapon for Phantom or Twal. Well, just grind out Buster Quest until you have a Chevelle weapon that they'll need. So just sell it to them. Easy muns.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to be getting a lot of new trading materials in episode 6. So you're going to have your gold and cobalt badges, plus what will eventually be coming out in Divide quests, which will provide you with Divide materials, including Lumen Mech materials, which go into the creation of different weapons and units as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for when Divide quests get added.
Yeah, that was one of the better things that was added to PSO2 in quite a while.
Mm-hmm. Basically, a much more improved version of Extreme Quest.
Pretty much, yeah. I am wondering if we're going to get all the stages at the start, or if we're just going to be locked to stage 1 to 30.
I don't know. We'll see.
It would make sense if we're locked there just for the purposes of the story.
Yeah.
But alright, I think that brings us to the end of this episode here. So, on behalf of Zance and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Johnny.